You're listening to the Otis Jiry channel.
A Brand New Man by Michael Marks, narrated by Otis Jiry. I woke up in the bushes of my backyard, naked as the day I was born and equally confused. My hands clawed at the wet ground beneath me, the rich smell of rotting earth filling my nostrils as I did. I could feel them before I saw them. Beetles, worms, and all manner of garden insect crawling over my mud-encrusted skin. The cool night air of October wrapped around me as I lay there, prickling goosebumps across my flesh and sending a chill down my spine. How did I get here? I thought to myself as I attempted to climb to my feet, my knees weak and my heart beating far faster than it should have. The thorny branches of the bush I was lying in dug in my skin as I pulled myself to one knee. I ignored it, too confused, too sick feeling to care. It was the last thing I remember. I scanned my brain for memories, but it hurt to bring them out to the front of my mind. It was like trying to put a puzzle piece in the wrong spot, using force to make it fit. A spider crawled across my face and over my lips. I spit and twitched as I brought a hand up to knock it off my face. I stepped into my driveway, headed for my car. I was going to the store, I think, then nothing. It was starting to come together. I couldn't tell if the nothing was because I couldn't remember or because there was no memory there. What had happened to me? I finally got myself upright, brushing the crawling things from my arms and chest as I did. My stomach suddenly felt upturned, and I lurched forward out of the bushes, the contents emptying onto the grass as I did, my body heaving with each pathetic retch it could muster, my eyes welling with tears from the pain. Despite my efforts, I was back on my knees and fearing the prospect of having to return to my feet. I stared at what had been in my stomach moments earlier, dread and sickness filling the now empty pit of my gut. A black ooze pooled around the blades of grass, and insects and worms crawled within it. I fought back the urge to vomit again, trying not to wonder if the insects had fallen from my body or if they had come up through the viscous black substance. I shook my head and ran my hands through my hair, wanting to be sure I was clear of as many insects as possible. A few more beetles fell from my hair, along with an earwig. They all made their way towards the black ooze, almost seeming ready to drown in it. What the fuck is happening with me? The thought echoed in my head. I felt so confused and scared. I just wanted to get back inside the house and run hot water over my body till I felt clean. If I could ever feel clean again. I once again started the arduous process of getting to my feet. This time, things went much quicker. I was taking short, labored steps toward the back door that had led to the kitchen before I knew it. The black porch light was on, a dim glow reflecting off the windows of the back door. It looked like an oasis, and I felt like a man dying of thirst. My foot touched the cool concrete of the back step, and my hand reached for the knob. I prayed as I turned it, hoping that I had left it unlocked. My clothes, wallet, keys, and everything else was God knows where. Perhaps some deity finally took pity on me as I heard the latch click and pushed the door open. The inside of the house felt warm. I remembered that I had left the heater on before I stepped out. Where had I been going? That's right, just to the store to grab some cigarettes. What happened? Did someone jump me? Was I robbed? I thought this was a safe neighborhood. I flicked on the kitchen light as I shut the door behind me. Hey, we're not paying to heat the whole outside, kiddo. The memory slipped forward with no effect on my part that time, the voice of my father. I felt like my brain was trying to piece itself back together. I rubbed at my temple with one hand while I studied myself on the marble countertop. I made my way around towards the sink. The cold porcelain sink looked inviting. I was so thirsty. I felt as if I hadn't had a drink in a week. I flicked up the faucet handle and stuck my face into the cool, clear water that flowed out. I let it run over my skin and fall into my mouth, swallowing each mouthful I took in. When I had my fill, I stood up and knocked the handle down with a lazy swing of my hand. My eyes looked around the kitchen until they landed on the fridge. My stomach growled, and a squirming feeling came up from my intestines. I tried not to think about the insects. I decided to ignore my hunger. I wanted to be clean more than I wanted to eat anyway, and the thought of throwing up again was a heavy deterrent away from food. I made my way down the hall and towards the bathroom. My body was starting to feel stronger, perhaps from the water, or maybe the effects of what had happened to me were wearing off. I turned on the bathroom light. The harsh glow against the cold white of the bathroom hurt my eyes. I raised my hand up to my face as I entered the room, my brain flooded with thoughts as my feet touched the towel. This must be what it's like to be born. The words flooding my mind, the last piece of the thought repeating over again, to be born. I stepped in front of the mirror, hoping to survey the damage. I hadn't felt any injuries, just sickness, but I wanted to be sure. I lowered my hand and tried to let my eyes adjust to the brightness. That's when I saw something that horrified me to my very core. My eyes. Something had happened to my eyes. They were sunken back in my skull. The whites were bloodshot to the point of looking almost entirely red. The most horrifying part were my irises. They were a pale yellow color, sickly like the skin of a man with liver disease. There were black flecks dotted in them like small grains of sand stuck to the cornea, but they were moving. Their movement was very slow, barely noticeable, but they were indeed moving. I let my mind wander back to the insects, of fear rising up inside me once again. What was done to me, I thought. What the hell happened to my eyes? Before I even had time to come to terms with the nightmare that was staring back at me from the mirror, I heard a sound. The front door was opening, and someone was coming into the house. I quickly turned off the bathroom light and found the strength to dart towards my bedroom. Moving as quickly and quietly as possible, I slid open the closet door and grabbed the baseball bat and kept there just in case. I stood there listening to the steps move through the house, gripping the handle of the bat so tightly that my knuckles turned white. I heard as whoever it was moved through the living room and towards the kitchen. I heard the sound of keys hit the marble counter. Is this the person who did this to me? They must have taken my keys. I heard the feet shuffle around in the kitchen for a while, then start moving towards the hallway. The steps were cautious now, slow and even. Why were they back? Had they come to finish the job? Jesus, were they here to kill me? The steps, softer now, moved across the carpet towards the bedroom. I wished I wasn't naked. I wished I had something more than a bat. I wish I knew what the hell was going on. I quietly moved behind the door, keeping my weapon at the ready. You don't have the drop on me this time, motherfucker. I'm gonna make you tell me what the hell you did to me. They were right outside the bedroom door now. I watched as the knob turned slow and the door started to creep open, blocking my body from the view of whoever was coming in. I saw their head as they moved into the room, and I didn't hesitate. I shouldered the door close and swung the bat at the back of his head. I felt the hard pine connect with his skull and heard the crack as he fell forward onto one knee. Dazed and wide-eyed, the intruder turned on me, his mouth drooping open. I stared back at him, my bat still raised and ready for another strike, as my vision finally started to readjust to the darkness. The face I saw staring back at me was not what I had expected, if I had any expectations at all. The face staring back at me was my own. The other, me, was wearing the same clothes I had been wearing when I originally had left for the store. The shoulders of the shirt now covered with drips of blood as the new wound on the back of his head gushed. He tried to speak. His tone was confused and scared. What? Why? the only words he managed to blurt out before I swung the bat hard once again. Even in the dark, I could see his cheekbone collapse and his jaw dislocate as he fell to the floor. I wanted answers. I wanted to know. At least I thought I wanted these things. As soon as I saw his face, though, my face, I just wanted to destroy it. I stood over him, bringing the bat down over and over again. Blood sprayed upward in a mist, dotting my face. I could feel my mouth contorted in rage. My sickly yellow eyes felt like they were burning with a hot fire. I began screaming uncontrollably. "Imposter!" The words came out of my mouth without any thought. "Imposter! Imposter! Imposter!" The bat came down with each scream till the man lying on the floor in front of me was unrecognizable. Nothing but blood and hair, broken teeth and chunks of bone. I threw the bat down and collapsed next to the body. I was covered in filth and blood. I felt another insect crawl from my ear. I grabbed from my cheek and held it up to my face, another beetle. I quashed it between my fingers, feeling its gooey insides seep out from its exoskeleton as it crunched. I should have felt disgusted with myself. I should have been confused. Instead, I felt good. I felt better than good. I felt more alive than I ever had. I rolled the corpse over, took the wallet from its back pocket. It was my wallet, leather-bound and monogrammed with my initials, J.T. I pulled the ID out and saw my face yet again, my name next to it, clear as day. James Torrance. My name is James Torrance. I said the words like it was the first time, like I was reveling in a newfound identity. My name is James Torrance. I repeated them over and over again as I got to my feet and walked towards the bathroom again. My name is James Torrance. I flicked the bathroom light back on and walked over to the shower. I ran my hand against the wall, leaving streaks of blood as I did. My name is James Torrance. I turned on the shower. The heat of the water felt good as I ran my hand underneath it. I was ready to get clean, to wash this night away and start new. My name is James Torrance. I walked over to the bathroom mirror and wiped away the already building condensation from the glass. My face had a smile on it. Its sunken look was replaced by its normal, healthy tone, the cheeks flushed with red. My name is James Torrance. I stared in the mirror and watched as my eyes changed. The hideous yellow irises took on their normal blue color. The whites were once again white. My name is James Torrance. I stepped into the shower and felt the dirt and blood wash off my skin. I was ready to get clean. Ready to start a new day tomorrow. A new day as myself. A new day as James Torrance.